Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland. I am your sensei, Al Bob, your griot, welcoming you aboard. I know you've all had a rough week. You feel like wanting to fire hose out your butt and out your mouth. All of that dark matter, all of that vomit, all of that diarrhea that you're forced to regurgitate. History undigested gives you acid reflux. Anyway, that's kind of like where we are now. The lights, is the light shining on you as it is on me? Is the light shining on you? Can you see anything? We're coming into a time of choice between this light that gives no shadows or this light that is all shadows. A lot of people badmouth Homo sapiens sapiens and say how mean and rough and violent, all that they are. And they are. But if they basically weren't good, they would be toast. And that's going to be our next show. That could be toast. Or you are toast. Or is it toast yet? Are we toasted? Gang, are we toasted? Oh, come on. Let's hear the robot voice. Talk to me.
In home live TG. In home live TG. Button 5 of 71 in a grid.
That's my girlfriend.
In home live TG. Button loading video.
She's quite a conversationalist.
Hello? Oh, it's you, Stalin. Thank you, we've dealt with the matter ourselves.
Oh, yeah. You know who that is?
Well done, everyone.
That is my...
new medal struck. The order of the Turkish bar. Emergency has been contained. Return to your normal duties, everyone.
We contained it by the skin of our teeth. We may not be so lucky next time.
The main operation was not at fault. Those idiots at the nuclear reactor boosted the power too high.
All right, so it was some kind of accident. They happen, you know. You have to make allowances, take precautions.
I can make no allowances for incompetence, Mr. Sullivan.
Petra. Is that man a complete nut?
I don't think so, Mr. Sutton.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for helping with the emergency.
Well, if you really want to show your gratitude, there are one or two things.
Like what?
Take me out to dinner.
Like call me Greg, for instance. That's my name. All this mystery makes me nervous.
And second,
I've got one or two ideas.
what about?
Safety precautions at the drill head area. Now, Starman listens to you. If you can convince him I'm talking sense, we might get somewhere.
Uh-oh. That's my buddy.
Those bullets right through the heart. He was alive and moving for several minutes.
Yes, a bullet.
Abnormal resistance, abnormal strength. That's not all.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me, sir. The medics are on the way over.
They better not touch the body for a while. It's radiating a good deal of heat.
Right, sir.
It's dead, Doctor. Heat, Brigadier. Like
Heat.
a wrench to kill that technician. Like that switch over there.
What about these two?
There don't seem to be any major injuries.
Their brains have been burnt out. They are just a vegetation state.
Wyatt? Private Wyatt?
Wireless family plan to save you money.
Yep, there's nothing wrong with that boy. Nothing. Nothing. He went down for a pack of cigarettes, and that's what he got.
Muting.
It's here it is. It's like heaven on earth and hell right there on that screen, right there. So it's interesting times we live in, but nothing's changed. It's the same as it ever was. Da 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 da. stuff. We just have too much stuff. You need things, but you don't need stuff. So it's not all about you. E.A. Myers is what it's about. There's the MJ. Until Bob. Zardos. It's amazing, right? And it was made in the 70s. It's about what's happening right now. So who do I remind you of in that movie? The guy or that other guy? The guy who looked good in his diapers, or the guy who looked like the Wizard of Oz? He had that mustache and a top hat, and he was driving around the big head. Which I think I'm one or the other, right? That kind of with the ponytail thing and everything the girls like, or the guy with the black, thing down to here, Wizard of Oz, Maître D of the circus. So what do you think? Did you watch the whole thing? So, when that movie came out, I'm an aficionado. I used to live right next to, quote unquote, an art film house. And back in the day, it was like stuff that were the first movies, like the little roly thing-a-bings, blah, 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 right? That was a portent to things to come. Blah, 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 blah. And so here we go.
And you did.
That noise he was making, I've never heard anything like that before. I have.
Uh-oh.
Where? Krakatoa, Sandra Straits. During the volcanic eruption of 1883.
Oh, no!
Are you telling me that there's some link between Slocum and the volcanic eruption in Krakatoa?
Channel Classic Doctor Who, Inferno, S54E2 Part 2.
Enough.
Muting. Unmuted.
Uh-oh.
Wyatt? Wait!
Way up there, boy. I don't know what to do. Oh, my Lord. Ah! Uh-oh. Wyatt doesn't look good. Wyatt doesn't look happy. Doesn't know which end of the gun he should use. Ah! Uh-oh. I don't think Wyatt's getting up from that. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. You heard the doctor. I'll be right back.
According to my calculations, Petra, we can accelerate the drilling speed by 12% without any adverse effects. This will advance the time of penetration of the Earth's crust by nearly 5 hours.
Professor Stallman, could you please come to Central Control? Mr. Keith wants you to look at something in there.
But what on earth is it?
Do you reckon he'll know what it is? Well, if he does, he does. They're cleverer than the rest of us.
What have we got here? What is it, Sir Keith?
Open it, please.
Uh-oh.
Now, we've been getting traces of this stuff from number 2 output pipe for some time now. Recently it started coming out in greater quantities.
Analysis report?
None. So far the substance has defied analysis.
Ridiculous. If it exists, it can be analyzed.
The labs say they can't get near enough to the stuff to carry out a proper examination. It took them all their time to siphon some off into that heat-resistant jar.
Then we shall just have to wait till it cools down a bit, won't we?
But I doubt whether it will.
It's never gonna cool down.
I was just wondering an opinion.
Based on what? Krakatoa, actually.
Professor, I have to speak to you and Sir Keith on a matter of great urgency.
Oh, not just at this moment.
I must insist, sir, this is vital.
Well, then talk to our good friend Sir Keith. He's got time for talking.
I have. As in the past few hours, 3 men have died in this establishment. Died violently. I must talk to you in my office now.
Oh, very well.
Examine that stuff in the labs. What do you think?
I wish I could hear it.
Hear it.
I wonder if it screeches.
Doctor, I think you ought to come and look at the main computer.
Why? Something interesting?
Something downright frightening, if you ask me.
But surely, Brigadier, this matter comes under the jurisdiction of the medical section or security. It's a personnel problem. It's got nothing whatsoever to do with the technical side of this operation.
Professor, 3 men have died.
Sorry for that. But it's none of my responsibility.
How can you say that these deaths concern all of us?
The doctor believes there is some connection
That
between the...
doctor has no authority in this establishment. How many times do I have to repeat that?
His calculations on initial stresses were invaluable to this project. Without them,
I would have come to the same conclusion.
he came to his answers in 10 minutes. You had a team of mathematicians working on it for a month.
That's hardly the point, Sir Keith.
Gentlemen, please, I am still waiting for some decision on my particular problems.
As you say, Brigadier, they are your problems. Please deal with them as you see fit.
A question.
Yes?
Isn't anybody going to pay any attention to that computer out there?
That computer is oversensitive. Its data is unreliable.
You talk about the thing as though it was your maiden aunt.
My own calculations are more specific.
Yes, well, I'll tell you something that should be of vital interest to you, Professor.
Like what?
That you, sir, are a nitwit.
Professor, come quickly.
Locked up!
Okay, the jar's going to shatter.
Stand back, everybody.
No, Professor, no. Yes, well, I wouldn't have done that.
I wouldn't have done that if I was you.
I've left deeply frozen. Return to work, everybody.
Return to work, everyone.
Continue on discussion.
I hardly think that's necessary. As far as I'm concerned, everything's been covered.
Thank you for your cooperation.
What about the computer?
What about it?
Well, you can't just ignore it.
I prefer to rely on my own judgment. I've been concerned with the operation for 11 years, and I know about the details of my machine.
Message is perfectly clear.
Message.
Couldn't see this, sir. Warns the drilling should be stopped immediately. Well, look at it, man. Are you blind?
That computer, as I have said, is inaccurate.
You please yourself, sir. I've done the best I can to convince you. This won't get back to my own word.
You may find that rather difficult. We can't supply you with any more nuclear power.
Oh, why not?
We need all the energy we can get. I propose to accelerate the drilling by 12%. What the part of the doctor's house? What can be connected on the research? If you will excuse me.
I'm sorry, Doctor.
So am I, Sir Keith.
Start the acceleration in exactly 25 minutes' time. That will make the time of penetration 0 exactly 49 hours from now.
Professor Stubble, shouldn't you at least consider what they're saying?
Listen to all the other solutions, which are relative account.
listen to them now, you'll never be competent. Have all systems modified to this new programming?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Tracy Starman has decided to modify the drilling rig. Could you join us for a minute?
Please. Go check the backgammon circuits on the console. But please, don't ask any questions.
Professor! What do you do with that microscope? Your own business. Computers are threat to you, isn't it? You could prove him wrong. I done it!
When you see karate, very effective. Hold it long enough, the subject remains permanently paralyzed. I suggest that you're very well.
So please explain what's going on here.
Shall I tell him or will you?
Brigadier, have that man expelled from this establishment. Well, Doctor, will you please tell me what's going on here?
Don't you start asking me questions. Just keep your eyes open and concentrate.
This year's gonna be my first Christmas without Dad, and I want to get it exactly right.
No, well, that's been it. 18 minutes. So, guys, what did you think of A Little Christmas?
Get the parts fast and the job done faster.
AutoZone. La ha la ha la la. Ha 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 ha.
What's better than giving a better phone?
I know. What is better?
I know. Giving a better phone on a better network.
Oh yeah.
What's better? Ranked number one in network reliability 16 times in a row better. The most awarded for network quality a whopping 27 times by JD Power.
Oh, by JD Power.
And Verizon is ranked number one in customer satisfaction for small business wireless service.
Okay.
Powering off.
Powering off. Well, did you almost lose your mind? I know I did. Now, stuff happens, right? Here's a little something that I hope you might find amusing. I think this is it.
Well, I guess you're really busy, and so I'll just give you your space.
Oops, that wasn't it. Where was this? That's it. This is it.
I just listen to the voice and it doesn't really slow down until I'm done really slowing down right down. I'm not talking it really slow. Oh, I just played the last three messages. I just listen to the voice and it doesn't really slow down until I'm done really slowing down right down. I'm not talking it really slow. Oh, I just played the last three messages that I've left. And the last two.
That's how you have to laugh.
You're dead, girl.
Yeah.
Listen to the voice and it doesn't really slow down until I'm done really slowing down right down. I'm not talking it really slow. Oh, I just played the last three messages that I've left. And the last two. If you don't laugh, you're dead, girl.
Yeah, if you don't laugh, then you're dead. Meaning, once you're born, you're meant to die. That's the only thing you can depend on. You're gonna die, you know? Once you're born, you're gonna die. So, you know, get to it. Meaning, have a life. Stuffed flinches. Yum, yum, yum. Too full. Stuffed shells. Yum, yum, yum. That's one thing I do. I can't chew it enough. I spit it out. And then I cook it again. Tastes better second time around. This stuff here, I've been eating for the last week and a half. It's called one pot cooking. Kind of boil up some potatoes and onions. And then I got a big cast iron pan. And I put the potatoes and the onions in the pan. And then I just keep adding stuff. Other veggies, a can of this, a can of that. Some pasta, some fish. And then I can chew it up and put it in the bowl and mix it back in the pan. It's just that very French. Ooh la la. So anyway, this was fun. And again, this is just a sales pitch for tonight's show. I'll give it more thought. And you guys send me some of your mind juice. MJ, you do it all the time. I love it. You're the best. And there's another 50 of you who are right in that being the adept, you know, taking time to be your best, to do your best. You're not perfect, but you can do your best, and you're doing your best. And you've made such a great moving forward in the last year or so. And that is the ELF rising off the top of my head, right? And since the whole corona. Anyway, whenever you see me pause like I just did, I've trained myself, instead of stuttering, I pause. And I line all the words up, and then I let them go. And that's how I write, too. So that's kind of why my the griot, the storyteller, is a stream of consciousness, because I line it all up, and I just let it go. And there's my angel wing over there, the one you can see. And not quite all the way the angel, but we're all angels, you know. All our relations, right? There you go. Either that or that's my guardian angel back there. who's got my back, right? So, anyway, who's MJ? You still there? Mutate. Mutate, what did you think of Zardoz? Pretty interesting film, eh? And they made that in the 70s. That's the most amazing. And they made, he made about 6, 7 other movies after he did James Bond and didn't want to be typecast. Ooh, the bowl, the grog, the gruel. So, there's a lot of great stuff on YouTube. Better get it while you can. I'd go get some photo cells, get a little bit of juice. Otherwise, learn to live without it, And that's not a bad idea either. Because look how great social media turned out for the average man and woman and child. Anyway, that's it. We're getting close to wrapping up 2021. And as I said last year around this time or earlier, and I've been saying this since April of this year, 2021 is going to be stranger than 2020 ever was, except for the kind of surprise of 2020. But pretty much anyone who was noticing expected what had happened. And if you listen to Cliff Hyde, he's a good person. I don't believe in anything anybody says, but, I'm a big proponent to Ronald Reagan's trust but verify. So that's what I do. I listen to what everyone has to say. I don't disbelieve it, and I don't believe it, right? I listen, and I use my own cortical implants and all my little buddies in my gut to figure out what's going on. And it works pretty good. So you need to do the same. Otherwise, life gets too material and too, right? So anyway, I'll be on, let's say 7:30. I'm going to see how close to the dial I can call up, get other people to join up tonight. Let's have a big chat. And everyone is going to have to, especially you, cadre and adepts, need to step up, really, because in your own little backyard, in your own little neighborhood, you have to start your own little, salon, your own little community, your own little book reading group, your own little gardening crew, your own little everything. At the end of World War II, the American average citizen was recycling 95% of everything all this stuff that they recycled for the war effort, right? And we're economizing, and productivity had gone up the highest ever. And that's what you can do when you're pulling together. But we weren't even getting bombed, right? We just had to have coupons to buy stuff. In Germany, on the other hand, they were being bombed into the Stone Age. And as the war went on, good old Dr. Spears, the head of making stuff in factories, actually was turning out more planes, more tanks, more rockets, more everything than they did at the beginning of the war. Because he was such a brilliant guy, he totally put stuff every which way so no one could bomb anything. And they were knocking out more ships, more submarines, more airplanes than they did in the beginning of the war, and more sophisticated ones, technology that would have just. But they ran out of people. They were putting like 6-year-olds in fighter planes. So that is the story, and it has gone on ever since. And it kind of started back in Samaria, and it kind of started when the Anunnaki kind of landed And all through our, biblical history, Hebrew, Christian, Islam, Sikh, Buddhist, Zen, Vishnu, all the above, they all had flying things in their mythology. So, right off the bat, here's a spoiler for you all, and I want you to think about it, and maybe let's talk about this right off the bat. Tonight at 7:30 at Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob, we will talk about, the fact that you are an artificial, you're a clone, you're a robot, you're a biological toy, you're somebody's high school science fair project. And that's why the world is so whack. That's, our body is not who we are. It's a bag of water. It's our avatar. Our soul is strictly the server, whereas our higher consciousness, right, that is the twin flame of love's co-creation, right? That is our spirit, and that's what I want to talk about. How, who are these alien forces? They've been around us since the beginning. There were other cultures way before us. This ain't a clock winding down because the universe keeps expanding. There's some real interest, if you kind of look at Newtonian physics, the clock, then the Einsteinian physics, the clock on acid, and then you look at, unified field theory, then on to string theory. We no one looks at anything except what's happening to them. Why can't I have white socks? It's not a blue one. I don't want blue one. Come on. We got so much stuff, and it's addictive. I've had way too much stuff. Still do have too much stuff, but I've cut it back by 1 billion%, and that's doing better. Remember, do better. So, MJ, again, and anyone else, drop me a line at the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail to say, here I am, so I can, get back to you, and start a nice email conversation that's, private and ours, right? And I have that with lots of folk, and that's good for everybody, right? And then you come here, and we have an even more expanded community conversation, like tonight's one about, what's, the most important thing on this planet, right? It's not 19. It's not any singular war that we're fighting 100 of them all over the place. Not the fact that we spend $2 trillion on weapons, and like 1/100th of that on healthcare for children, So, and everything that JoJo wants is just a scam. It's like a 3-card Monty. There is no difference between JoJo and Commie Mitch, and they've both been in the Senate forever, right? They are the best legislators money can buy. Anyway, so we're going to talk all about this tonight at 7:30ish. Right now it's 4:55, almost 5 o'clock, so 2 hours from now. Try and get a crowd, and it's been amazing. Every night we've had 40 and above. Somewhere between 40 and 70 people. And then when I go back and look at the numbers, once it gets posted, it's like 12 people watched. And, it's interesting. Like right now, how many thumbs up do I have? Two thumbs in one. Let's get some more. And anybody wants to send something to PayPal, I sure would use it right now. I'm on the bop. I'm spending money that I normally don't spend. When I'm in the deep green, I don't go nowhere. So anyway, that's the storyline. I love you guys, and so does my guardian angel back there. And we'll see you tonight at 7:30. Okay. Anyone want to say something before? We still rhetorically have a minute left. when it hits 3666, I'm gonna. So hope you're all well. Hope you're doing good. Ooh, at 43 seconds, it locked up. Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, here we go. Here's our spot. There we go.